Welcome to Librarian Recommends. Hi, my name is Trish and I am one of the librarians at Barbican Library, and this is my fortnightly Librarian Recommends video. Do look out for it every other Thursday at 2 o'clock. When the library is open, you can of course come in to borrow books, but did you know that you can also download e-books and audiobooks using our free RBdigital app 24/7. Just download the app and register with your library details and away you go. There will be some e-book and e-audio suggestions in this video. The majority of the titles will also be available as physical books in the library if you prefer to hold and read a book. Today's suggestions are all titles that include numbers. It is the start of a new year, so why not? As a result, this is a diverse range of titles that you can really count on. My first recommendations are all available as e-books via RBdigital. First up is The Five, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper by Rubenhold. A vast number of books have been written about Jack the Ripper. The subject of this Ripper book is not Jack himself, but rather his unfortunate victims. Author and historian Rubenhold expertly pieces together the individual lives of the 5 women brutally murdered at the hands of the infamous serial killer. Many assumptions were made about the victims, including that they were all prostitutes, and Rubenhold sets the record straight, while giving life to these long-dead women. She chronicles each of their fascinating stories, from birth to death. They all came from different places and backgrounds, but their lives all contained hardship, poverty, alcoholism and homelessness. Rubenhold suggests that contrary to popular belief, these women were targeted simply because they were women, alone and vulnerable. This is a well-researched and enlightening book that shines a light on the often overlooked stories of the victims of Victorian London's most notorious murderer. How about 33 Revolutions per Minute by Dorian Linsky? This is a history of protest music examined through 33 songs. Each chapter is named after a song, and each song presents a way into a subject, artist, era or idea. The author places the songs in the context of what was happening culturally, socially and economically at the time of their release. The political events and developments that inspired and backdrop the songs are examined in detail. This compendium includes songs by Bob Dylan, Woody Guthrie, Nina Simone, Jill Scott-Heron, The Clash, Stevie Wonder, The Special aka, Billy Bragg, REM and more. This is a meticulously researched and informative book that will appeal to music fans as well as those interested in the history of the social protest movements of the 20th century. Next up is 14 by Jt Ellison. In the mid-1980s, a serial killer terrorised Nashville. He was dubbed the Snow White Killer because his victims were all pale-skinned women with long dark hair. All were slashed across the throat and had the same red lipstick smeared across their mouths. After 10 brutal deaths, the femicides abruptly stopped, and the police received a letter from the killer stating that his work was done. Now, decades later, the discovery of 4 new bodies killed in the manner of the Snow White Killer has the residents of the city once again fearing for their lives. Has the original killer come out of retirement to restart his reign of terror? Or is this the work of a copycat killer? It's down to Lieutenant Taylor Jackson to discover the truth. If you like this fast-paced thriller, you can find more titles in the Taylor Jackson series in our e-book library. My final e-book suggestion is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This remarkable book took the prize for Best First Novel in the 2018 Costa Book Awards and was nominated for several other literary awards the same year. Its protagonist is a young man, Aidan Bishop, destined to relive the same day repeatedly. He is a guest at Blackheath, a country estate where a party is being thrown in honour of Evelyn Hardcastle. However, Evelyn will be murdered at 11 p.m. But the beautiful daughter of the house will not die just once. Until Aidan solves her murder, the day will repeat itself over and over, each time with Evelyn being killed and with Aidan waking up in the body of a different guest. If he fails to identify the murderer after 8 days, the cycle resets and he must begin again with all his previous memories wiped. This book is an exquisite and unique blend of Agatha Christie and Groundhog Day, with a twist of Inception and a splash of Black Mirror. It is a highly inventive, tightly plotted novel, packed with intrigue and mystery that will keep you gripped and guessing until the last page. The next suggestions are all available as audiobooks on RBdigital. Perhaps you fancy a change from reading or find it hard to concentrate on a book. Listening to one instead is a really immersive experience. My first audio suggestion is Take 6 Girls, The Life of the Mitford Sisters by Laura Thompson. This book delves into the world of the whole six-pack, the author's term for this sextet of sisters. It explores their intriguing and often controversial lives and relationships. Thompson writes about the childhood intimacies and rivalries of the Mitford girls and the intertwined and eventful lives they pursued as adults. The eldest was Nancy, a novelist and historical biographer, followed by Pamela, who led a private and pastoral life and had a devoted admirer in John Betjeman. Then Diana, who married the fascist leader Oswald Mosley, while fourth sister Unity revered Hitler and became part of his inner circle. After her was Jessica, who spent most of her life in the United States and was an avowed communist. And finally, the youngest of the sisters, Deborah, who became the Duchess of Devonshire. This is a well-researched biography of 6 beautiful, aristocratic, independent and determined women, flawed and notorious, but always fascinating to read about. Next up is 100 Pieces of Me by Lucy Dillon. After her divorce from her cheating husband, Gina Bellamy is starting again. Moving into a small flat, she quickly realises she has too much stuff for her new space and decides to downsize and declutter. She feels a lot of the things she had treasured in the past no longer fit who she is now, so she resolves to whittle down her belongings to just 100 special pieces, discarding everything else. As Gina sorts through her possessions, we learn more about her life through the objects she decides to keep. Her dysfunctional family, the tragedy of her first love, her breast cancer diagnosis and remission, and the shocking betrayal of her former husband. Sorting through her things means Gina must confront and accept her past, and embrace her future, however uncertain it may be. This is a gentle but poignant listen about learning to let go, move on, and start over. How about 3.5 Heartbeats by Amanda Prowse? Grace and Tom Penderford are living a happy and comfortable life. They have a lovely home in the Hertfordshire countryside, a strong marriage, and an adorable young daughter, Chloe. Chloe has been suffering from recurring bouts of tonsillitis, and not long after turning 3, is admitted to hospital for a routine tonsillectomy. Less than 24 hours later, her parents' lives are irrevocably altered. The death of their beloved daughter from sepsis leaves them utterly distraught, as they both struggle to cope with their own overwhelming grief. The true strength of their relationship is tested. Can they recover from this tragedy, heal each other's shattered hearts, and save their marriage? This novella is a poignant story of love, loss, grief, and hope. Get your tissues at the ready, as this is an emotional listen. My final audiobook suggestion is 7 Types of Ambiguity by Elliot Perlman. The story here is told in 7 parts. each narrated by a different character. Simon is a 30-year-old unemployed teacher whose life has stalled due to his continuing obsession with Anna, his ex-girlfriend from his university days. Anna, who dumped him over a decade earlier, is now unhappily married to a wealthy stock market trader and has a 6-year-old child. After years of frustration, Simon resolves to take action and kidnaps Anna's son Sam from school in a misguided attempt to win her back. The book follows the repercussions of this act, as seen through the eyes of the 7 narrators whose lives are intertwined and connected in unexpected ways. This is an ambitious novel with compelling characters exploring dysfunctional relationships, unrequited and obsessive love, and emotional and psychological entanglements. I do hope these suggestions give you inspiration for your next read. And don't forget, if these titles I have suggested are unavailable when you look, you can search by genre and availability, or simply browse in the RBdigital app, or pop in, phone or email the library to see if they are available on the shelf. Do use the comments section below to add your own thoughts on these books, or add suggestions of other numbers titles you think our customers might enjoy. And if we don't already have them available in our RBdigital collection, we will see if we can add them. And please do like this video if you have enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. Your support and feedback is invaluable to us. If you need help using the app, please take a look at our user guide video, which you can find under videos on our Facebook page, or go to our YouTube channel using the link above. Before I go, I would like to thank my colleague Lynn for her invaluable help putting these recommendations together. Happy reading or listening, and Happy New Year to you all from Barbican and Community Libraries. Thank you, and bye.